It's a great honor to welcome the chief guest on behalf of the Department of UG National Institute of Siddha, Dr. R. Sivakumar, BAMS M.D. MBA, Medical Director, Chennai Heritage Hospitals. Sir, you take the seat. Before that, let's see a short AV about our chief guest.
DrRSivakumar comes from a family which practices medicine since generations. He is the son of Dr. A. a graduate and eminent physician from the field of Siddha, and Dr. R. a graduate and distinguished practitioner of Ayurvedic medicine. He finished his graduation in Bachelor of Ayurveda Medicine and Surgery from the famous century-old College of India, the Ayurvedic Medical College, Mylapore, Chennai, and did his master's specializing in Kaya Chikitsa. Famous 75 years old college, Hubli Ayurveda Seva Samiti's Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya, Hubli. During his post-graduation, he did his research work on osteoarthritis and proved the concept of chondrogenesis through Ayurveda, for which he was greatly appreciated by Department of Ayush, Government of India, New Delhi at the centenary celebrations of the Government Ayurveda College, Mysore, Karnataka. He had consistently been a top performer throughout his studies and graduated as one of the leading mark scorers. Throughout his UG, he got well trained under Dr. L. Mahadevan M.D. in Ayurveda, Director Sri Sarada Ayurveda Hospital, Kanyakumari, and Dr. A. Ramalingam. While doing his PG, he had been working as part-time consultant. His desire to develop multi-speciality hospitals in Ayurveda made him to do his MBA in Hospital Management from Alagappa University, Tamil Nadu, during the same time of his post-graduation. He was a notable faculty of the Department of Internal Medicine at Sri Sai Ram Ayurveda Medical College and Research Center, Tambaram, Chennai for 11 years from 2010 to 2021. He taught final year clinical subjects for the students and was also the part of the medical team handling the OPD and IPD patients of college-attached hospital. He presently holds the post of Secretary for Ayurveda Postgraduates Association Tamil Nadu, first of its kind in India, is also the Vice President for All India Ayurveda Congress Chennai Unit and Treasurer for National Ayurveda Students and Youth Association Tamil Nadu, and represents organizations at all the levels and been an important personnel in bringing out the first government Ayurveda college at Kota, Nagarkoil in Tamil Nadu. Grand specialty clinics at Coimbatore, Westmamblam, Shenoy Nagar, Mugapet West, Tiruvannamalai and Sivagangai and treats people in distress. He is an expert in Panchakarma, through which he cures numerous diseases right from common cold to cancer, diabetes, obesity, arthritis, stroke, psoriasis, asthma or his specialties. He has his own multi-speciality medical facility, first of its kind in Chennai, this Chennai Heritage Hospital, a state-of-art 30-bedded multi-speciality hospital in Ayurveda and Siddha, and efficiently runs the hospital as its medical director. Ulaga Tamil Aaraichi Niruvanam, Government of Tamil Nadu, has felicitated him with the prestigious Dhanvantri Award recently for his contribution towards ancient medicine. He was also conferred with Ayurveda Nakshatra Award by Ayurveda Graduates Association of Tamil Nadu for his contributions to Ayurveda. His informative articles and videos are available in Chennai Heritage Hospital website, Facebook page, YouTube channel, Telegram app. His awareness speeches are also available in Live Right and Health Basket YouTube channels. It's an immense pleasure in welcoming you, sir.
Dr. Sivakumar, please accept the honors.
Very honored that 10 years back, both of us shared a platform in a conference. So he gave a talk on Ayurveda. I think it's on integrative or the Robert. So I gave a talk on the Siddha part actually. Other time he was so young, still he is young, that's a different thing. Okay. So he was about to start this actually. This he just started this heritage hospital. So I heard his talk. It was so impressive because I'm the person I was also practiced for 30 years. After that only I moved to postdoc and everything actually. But when I saw his
over there, I was really inspired. Why don't we start a clinic or hospital actually? So such an inspiring person. I'm really thank you, doctor, for being with us, with our students to deliver your wonderful experience with this. Actually, it's certainly, as Dr. Krishna said, it's a cakewalk for you, actually, for him. So getting this all 13 years of experience sharing with you is the greatest thing. Thank you so much. Okay, with these words, I just want to honor because the nation Siddha. Again, it's a great honor. I also thank our director for giving me this opportunity to honor our Dr. Sivakumar. Thank you. Bye.
Sir, please do honor Sir Shri Krishna.
But more than that, I belong to a Siddha lineage. I am not sure how many yet generation I am, but at least we are 7 to 8 generations old. Can you to the front? Please do come to the front. Today I'm here with a topic that maybe you are not familiar with, but probably most of you are dreaming of. What would be your dream? After this profession, after your studies, most of you might dream for PG, right? After PG? After PG what? Becoming a teacher? Only that? Don't you all want to start a clinic or a hospital? You want, right? So that is why I'm here today, to guide you and enlighten you how to start, how to plan, how to run an Ayush hospital efficiently. Okay? So This is me. I was working for Sairam Ayurveda Medical College, and I came out in 2021 after 11 years. Now I am into full-time practice. So you can take photos if you want in between, because some of the slides would be very much important for you. These are our branches, out of which our hospital is NABH accredited. Are you all familiar with the photos here? Yes? No? Okay. I was working for CC. He was the president of IMCOPS, and now he is 72 years old, but still active and practicing. And the center photo, you would have to be familiar. Are you familiar or not? Dr. Jayaprakash Narayanan, very active in social media and TV, and personally known to me because he is my father's teacher. And even now, I converse with him with whatever doubts I have. And third is my guru, Dr. L. Mahadevan. Unfortunately, he is not here. He is also the one. All these three people are very much for the system, not for just Siddha, but for all the systems together. For Ayush, for Yoga, for Siddha, for Ayurveda. So, I've been in contact with our beloved director for the past 8-9 years, and he is very inspiring, and we cannot match his speed. So he is a guiding star for me. Yes, so in this presentation I'm going to show most of the photos from my hospital, but you are all very fortunate to be studying in a NABH accredited hospital attached institute. So most of the things you might have seen here, but I hope you would have been not taught what are they and why are they followed. Okay, so you will come to know most of them today. Who are all here came as a choice to Siddha, or out of compulsion, or not getting MBBS came into Siddha? Most of you. Choice or compulsion? For which you are raising the hand? Choice. Great. So nice to see that positive feedback from you all. Nice. And you are in a very prestigious institute, and that will help you to boost your confidence further. So that's nice, because there are, you know, your friends may be in some of the other colleges, and the initial 1 or 2 years will be very depressed, and they will learn to be in depression later. That's how things are. Okay. So not only us, but the entire doctor field. Do you know what is the average lifespan of citizens of India or the world? 70 plus. In spite of being doctors, our average lifespan, not only us as Siddha doctors, I'm telling about the entire doctors community. In spite of being doctors, we are not able to manage our health. So first, preach and then practice. So first you have to be following what you are going to tell your patients. God himself is not liking that topic. Okay. Good that we have some battery backup. Yes. So, doctors do suffer from depression 4 times as often as the general population. But there are certain other things that may not be taught in your college, but you have to learn. You have to importantly, time management. Most of us are very absurd in managing time. Do you agree? I'm not saying most of us as doctors, most of us as Indians, we are very bad in time management. But first, as a doctor, we have to plan how we are going to manage time. Otherwise, it is going to be difficult. You will be a star doctor and you can do wonders with your prescription. But if the patient is going to wait 1.5 hours to meet you, he may not come for the next time. Okay? So time management is very important. And knowledge management. Once you come out of the college, you should not keep quiet. Okay, I have studied, let me practice. Not that. You should keep on developing your knowledge. And relationship management, as doctors, as a family, as with your colleagues, with your staffs, with the patients. So everywhere, relationship management is very important. I often say as doctors, we have to be very diplomatic and neutral in most of the choices we make. Personally, even if we are not okay with it, but your profession needs it. So always be opportunistic, not pessimistic. The education of a doctor which goes on after he has his degree is, after all, the most important part of his education. So you are yet to start your goal, right? You are into the process, but தெரிஞ்சது கையளவு தெரியாதது கடலளவு. So even when we speak with stalwarts of the field, they say the same. We are still learning. That shows how much deep is everything, including our system, Siddha or Ayurveda. Okay, so when you are planning for a hospital, you have to have certain other things in mind, and your plan has to be very perfect, and then only execution will be better. So ideas, plans, and organizing them and making them into a success and continuing that success with the teamwork is all what that takes to run a hospital efficiently, particularly a hospital in our field. Okay? Yes. Once, I think, if you are fortunate enough to come as a doctor into NIS, I think you all come under central government. So you will not be having the opportunity of practicing outside. You will be given non-practicing allowance and you will not be having the opportunity of practicing outside. But inside the hospital, you will have patients. And if you're not going to join any central government institutes, then you are fortunate enough to have your practices outside. You can earn and you can do service to the society at the same time. So that is very important. And I feel every day you see patients. That gives you more knowledge than studying the books. You see the patient, then refer the book. Study the patient, refer the book. You will never ever forget that particular topic. But if you keep on learning, Eti Surakai, Karikodavada, like that, if you keep on learning, probably if you are not touching it again, you will slowly forget that. Our brains are programmed like that. So we will forget it. So always try to find what is there in the patient and try to figure it out from your books or from media. For that, you have to be a clinician. Just academician may not be enough. So as doctors, what I feel is, our core competence is seeing patients. Do you know what is the meaning of teacher? What is the meaning of, I told the answer, meaning of doctor? Teacher, yes. So, in Latin, do you know doctor is a Latin word, and doctor means teacher. Do you know this? So when you become a doctor, you are already a teacher. What you are going to teach? What you are going to teach? What you are going to teach? You are going to teach why the patient got this problem and how to come out of the problem. No? So it's not writing prescriptions that makes you a doctor. It is about giving the knowledge to the patient. Why this happened to you? How can you come out of it? How can you prevent it? How can you overcome it? That is the real meaning of being a doctor. Because a doctor includes being a teacher. In Tamil, what we call as doctors? The other name? What is Vaidhyar? வித்தையை கற்றுக் கொடுப்பவர் வைத்தியர். வாட் இஸ் வித்தை? வித்தைனா குட்டிக்கரணம் போடுற வித்தை இல்லை. வித்தைனா சுத்த தமிழ்ல வித்யா. வித்யானா என்ன? நாலேஜ். So the same meaning of doctor and teacher is what is our Vaidhyar. Okay? In Sanskrit, now we all write not as doctors. We all write ourselves as Vaidya. Vaidya Dr. Sivakumar, Vaidya Dr. Sri Krishna. So we write like that. The meaning is we try to impart the knowledge to the patients. So that is very important. That too from our science, because our science is more holistic than the modern science. Do you accept this? Yes? What I feel is clinical practice by default is the best option for Ayush doctors, accepting the exceptional candidates. Who are these exceptional candidates? Those who people go for research, those who go for academic activities, those who go for governments. So except these, all others, clinical practice is the best option. I have seen many people who are very poor when they were studying, but now they are excelling way better than most of my batchmates or our college people, even though they were poor in their studies, but their practice and the way they take on their subject is very exceptional, and these people are flourishing well. So practice, I feel, is much better than getting into academics. In India, total doctors are about 13 lakhs. This is the latest statistics, and out of which plus Ayush 7.5 lakhs. Doctors to patient ratio is 1:800. WHO says 1:1000. We are well ahead of WHO's category, but still, if you come to Ayush category, we are 1:2500 as of now. So do you feel that there is a big need for clinicians in our system? Do you feel? Yes. And you see the last point, best return on investment. Because it is only your knowledge, right? You have a small clinic, you have a board, you have a prerequisites, and once your name is popular, then it is only income. Am I right or wrong? Yes. But in any other field, you need lot of running cost. Of course, in our field, when we go to a bigger level, we have a lot of running costs, but the ROI, in any business, people speak on ROI. What is ROI? Return on investment. So return on investment is very high in doctor's profession. In India, post-COVID, about 20% of the people are turning towards Ayush. How much OP you are recording in NIS every day? 2,000 to 3,000, right? Am I right? Yes. So there's a huge scope as doctors, as Ayush doctors. We have a very huge scope if we are going to start the practice, right? Starting the practice is not just putting the board and sitting and waiting for the patient. We will see what is that practice. Okay, now we saw how much the need is, but how many Ayush hospitals are there in Tamil Nadu? Can you guess? Can you guess? Directorate of Indian Medicine and Homeopathy, that is where we register, right? The website says about 290 hospitals are recorded in Tamil Nadu. Ayush hospitals. Do you feel this is enough for I tell you about both government and Ayush sectors? I mean government and private sectors. So is this 291 enough for the entire population of Tamil Nadu, which is about 10% of India's population, or at least 7-8% of India's population? Is this enough? 291 hospitals, and if you see IPD hospitals in that 291, very sad to say it is less than 100. Do you know how many IPD hospitals are there in Chennai? You are all studying in Chennai. How many are there? Ayush hospitals. You can leave your fingers and count. You can leave your fingers and count. Probably 10 to 12 hospitals are there. Only 10 to 12 hospitals are there. Don't you see there's a big opportunity and scope? Don't you see that? Don't you envision that? Is there a scope or not? We will see. Do you know that big hospitals like Vijaya, Apollo, SRM have not Siddha division but Ayurveda division under them? Do you know that? Yes? Do you know that Indian government has deputed Siddha doctors in many countries including Kuala Lumpur? Do you know that? Yes? I hope you would have all read about our director's history. Yes, good. So there are opportunities everywhere. So, when you plan, okay, I'm going to get into clinical practice. Plan it in a wise manner. Talk to your friends. Try to establish a center where at least 5 to 10 of you practice together. Maybe you can divide specialty amongst yourself. If you do a PG, it is good. But not that every person who is excelling in practice is a PG. It is out of your academic interest you can do PG. Definitely. But we are able to see many practitioners who are excelling very good in their clinics with UG, because UG you are permitted to practice. Okay, if your foundation is strong, then I think UG is enough. We know that many people who don't have any degrees, they are excelling much better than us. Right? So that is the prevailing situation. So in that, we are very much legal to practice with UG. So if you do PG, well, good, nice, if you have that capacity to prepare and do, just try, don't ignore PG, but my heart goes for clinics. Okay. So, that point, try to set up a hospital rather than a clinic. Maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 of you can plan. Maybe 5 of you from the same system with Siddha, or maybe 1 from Ayurveda, maybe 1 from homeopathy, maybe 1 from yoga. If you all consult at one place, that will reach people much earlier than a competitor who is practicing alone. Do you agree this? Yes? Yes. So if you want to start a hospital, first you have to plan. So in that we have many ideas: feasibility study, project planning and implementation, strategic planning, and then hospital commissioning, and then there is something called a shakedown period. We will see what is that. When you want to build a hospital, even if you are studying in a good institute, because I also studied from 3 institutes. But do you know what I did? I went to about 12 to 13 hospitals to see what are their lacunae, to understand what are their constraints in running a Siddha and Ayurveda hospital. And I learnt certain new things which are not there in any textbooks. Example, we use lot of oils, right? We use a lot of kuliyal podi, right? When these oils and kuliyal podi along with some hairs get into the drainage pipes, what will happen? It will clog, right? It will clog. So I happen to get this as a common complaint from all the hospitals. Every time you have to equip a plumber, you have to, because the sewage pipes will be usually 5 inches, whereas the bathroom drain pipes will be usually 2 inches only. So what I decided is I made all my drain pipes of bathroom as 5 inches. And I saw to that there are no bends in the piping system. It's a small input, but probably in this 15-20 years, 12 years of my hospital running, probably I would have saved a few lakhs in that place. And there is something called as heat pump. You know, you'll all think about having a heater or a solar heater. But there is something called as heat pump, where you can have one heat pump connected to all the bathrooms. And your electricity is saved drastically when you have a heat pump for heater, for hot water. So this I got to know, and we are trying to install that. This heat pump concept came recently, so we are trying to install that. So adapt to whatever new comes into the market and try to excel. So when you want to set up a hospital, see if there is feasibility in that area. If you are going to set up a hospital in rural area, you have to plan things accordingly. If you are going to set up the hospital same in an urban setup, you have to note all these things: paying capacity, educational status of the people who are going to come, probably going to come to you. Don't always expect foreign patients, don't always expect people who have money to come to you. We will also have people who are making the ends to meet every month. So if such places are selected, then you have to plan your rates accordingly. It's not that you need not plan a hospital there, but you have to plan the rates accordingly. Visibility, very, very important. If you are going to keep your hospital somewhere deep inside, then people will have accessibility problems and they may not come to you. So if it is on roads, main roads or junctures, then it is easily accessible. People will easily come to know about you. So these are the small things. So visibility, what is seen is what is sold. So if it is seen more times, then people easily, the footfalls increase easily. Then convenience, you have to see if a good transport facility is there, good connectivity through road, through rail, it is there. So such things have to be seen if you are selecting a place for a hospital. So if you want a 20 or 30 bedded, probably we will think of that size of hospital initially. So you should at least have a ground, which is 2,400 square feet. And you should have a lot of ample extra spaces for future improvements, future scope of developments. So think all this well in advance. Then needs of the community. Kindly plan this, because I studied in a hospital which is in northern part of Karnataka called Hubli. There, the hospital has, like our NIS, it has all the departments. That time in 2007 to 2010, we used to record 350 patients every day. But most of the patients are all from villages. So these people, in spite of knowing that it's an Ayurvedic hospital, they come and ask for injections. Because the hospital is set up in that place. So when this recurringly happened, hospital management planned to put a modern doctor inside this hospital. And there used to be equivalent number of OPDs in the modern section also. So because that college belonged to that rural area, there is no other way of imparting Ayurveda. If you have a modern hospital, people will come in. And thereby you can promote Ayurveda there. So that is how they planned. So you should always plan for ramps, you should always plan for stretcher lifts. So defaultly in NIS, you will be seeing all these things. But when you go to government, these are basic necessities that you have to fulfill to get the licenses. In the future, if you don't have ramps, you are not going to be given permissions for having a hospital. In this building, I hope you would have all seen big ramps in the front. Have you ever wondered why this much big ramp is put there? It's for the patient accessibility, right? So it's basic necessity for having NABH. You should have ramps. So when you are planning, you may not get this into mind. Later you cannot go for NABH. Or later you cannot correct it. So first itself you have to plan all these things. So you have to plan for many things. In that, stretcher, ramps and therapy rooms are very important. When I built my hospital, we had only 2 therapy rooms. But I had a plan of 6 therapy rooms. But initially I started 2. The other rooms I was using them as patient rooms. And when the necessity increased in the past 10 years, now we have 6 therapy rooms. But I had planned for 6 therapy rooms initially itself. So now I didn't have a problem of re-establishing those extra 4 rooms. Otherwise it would have been a problem. Yes, firefighting. Have you ever seen the cylinders in your corridors? Have you seen the round pipe? It's called fire hydrants and downcomer system. You have seen them? Okay. Do you have an idea to put this in your hospital later if you build a one? Yes? Sure? Yes or choice? It's no more a choice. It has to be there, because this is very important in considering patient safety. That too in hospitals. Now if you go to schools themselves, maybe when you were in schools you would have not seen this fire systems and all. Maybe until you are 5th, 6th, you would have not seen. But now you go to schools and see. All these are now being basic requirements to get licenses. So if you ever plan for a hospital, you have to plan all these things. Okay, because there will not be a engineer who is specializing in a Ayush hospital. We will not get an engineer. You only have to plan. If you go to modern sector, there are super specialized engineers who are well versed in building modern hospitals. But in our section, we don't have. We should only work. Always go for ISI and 5-star rated equipments. Your AC may be 5,000 cheaper if you are going for 2-star AC. If you are going for 5-star AC, it will be 5,000 to 6,000 rupees costlier. When you buy 10 ACs, you will see, okay, I am saving at least 50,000 rupees here. So let me go for 2-star ACs. What will happen in the next 1 year when the ACs run? Your 50,000, why I have put this tap? You will be knowing. You are studying in a NABH accredited hospital. Do you know this? What it is? These taps are called as elbow taps. They are very important for hand hygiene. If you are having a habit of watching movies in Netflix and in Amazon, there are some series like Dr. House. Then we have Good Doctor. Yes, watch them. You will learn a lot of things there. So, these kind of taps, they are called elbow taps. You use with elbow. Okay? You don't, because we are now much concentrating on hand hygiene to prevent diseases. Although we are not going to do surgeries, but still we are going to do certain important procedures like vastis. So if you are not going to have sterile hands, then you might lead to colitis and other complications. Sepsis will happen to the patient. So we have to be very careful because we also do invasive procedures. Attai vidudal we do. Karanul we do. Right? So we have to be very careful in hand hygiene. We should not take this very lightly. So when you install, you have to plan for elbow taps in most of the places where doctors use. Maybe inside the patient's room you can put simple taps. Simple taps, not these complicated taps. Because patients will not be able to use them easily. You should always have a fire plan, part of the topic I already told you. Then, when we come to staff, we have various departments. So we have nursing, technical is where we bring lab, we bring therapist, we bring pharmacist. All those technical staffs come under that category. So we have various sections. So you have to plan and you have to make a job description. Otherwise, in spite of being a director, you will start doing all the works. So you should have job descriptions and plan accordingly so that your job gets reduced and everybody gets involved in your hospital functioning. As I already told, most of the places I see, many of my juniors, my friends, my students, they take a place for rent, they put a beautiful board, they themselves cut the ribbon, inaugurate, sit in the front and take a photo and put it in Facebook. Is this the way to start a clinic? Is it right? Is it right? Please tell, why it is not right? Tell me why it's not right. Why it is not right? See, the purpose of starting a clinic is to make the patients come. You should see the footfall. You should take the investment. You should do a break even in certain time. So for that, what you have to do, right on the inaugural day, you have to call some celebrity. For at least seeing them, at least some 100 of people will come. They will know about your hospital. You should conduct a camp and frequently conduct camps. So what will happen? Your footfalls will increase. You have to address the local school. You have to do some voluntary services. All these things, if you do only, you will get patients. Otherwise, you still may get patients, but what you get in 5 years, if you do all these things, what I say, you can maybe get in 1 year. So that is how you have to plan. Okay? And advertisements. See, we are, by ethical practice, we should not advertise. What I mean by should not advertise? I am Dr. Sivakumar, I am well versed in Karanul, please come to me. That is not how you have to plan. You cannot do that. Legally and ethically, you cannot promote yourself. But as a hospital, you can show your services. As a clinic, you can project your services. And for that, you need media. You need print media, you need TV media, and you need social media. So, best utilization of all these things. I'll tell you one story. One of the student in Chennai college, Ayurveda college, he slowly started a brand, homemade brand. And this was like 7-8 years back. And slowly he started, that time only Instagram boomed, right? So he started putting his products and it became viral. He didn't stop there. He made all the legal things behind that company and made it a full-fledged legal company. And by the end of his BA/MS, he was earning in crores. A simple idea, but it was constructive. He was able to be constructive in his ideas. One of my student, she is a gold medal holder. She started a YouTube channel 7 years back. And before she passed her subject, she got that gold medal. She was already famous in her YouTube. So that kind of influence now social media can give you. That kind of exposure social media can give you. But you have to be very careful because it is a two-sided sword. Sometimes it may even bite you. So you have to be very careful in using social media. Do you know how many licenses we should have to have a hospital? Just guess. Probably how many licenses? Just guess. 5? 10? 20? Yes? 30 licenses, out of which 20 are very important. You don't get dejected. Don't leave the idea of starting a hospital, but these are there here. These are the statutory requirements to have a hospital. You have the local body registration, that is from the corporation. Chennai means corporation or municipality or whatever it is in your town or town panchayat, whatever it is, you have to have a certificate from them. You have to have the clinical establishment certificate from the Directorate of Medical and Rural Health Service. That is the second one. And then for getting these certificates, you should have at least 5 certificates in hand. Number 1 is building stability. Number 2 is fire NOC. Number 3 is pharmacy license. Number 4 is canteen license. Number 5 is lift license with lift insurance with lift maintenance, AMC. If you have all these 5-6 certificates, then you will get the top 2 certificates. For having these 5 certificates, you should have some more certificates. So, there comes building layout, property tax, water tax, professional tax, income tax returns, PAN, TAN, commercial electricity, genset, all these things have to be there along with land ownership certificate, calibrations. See, you would have seen weighing machines, right? Have you seen a certificate attached to the weighing machine? Is it there in the hospital? Generally, if you are having a hospital, you are going to measure, you should have a government calibrated weighing machine. Why I am telling this importantly is, I never knew this. One time, this weight and measurement department people came inside the hospital. They seized my weighing machine. That was a Chinese machine. That was only 1,000 rupees. But to recover that from that person, I have to pay 5,000 rupees. And then I wrote a letter saying that I will keep a licensed calibrated weighing machine within this many days. Then I bought that weighing machine. So usually that we will see, such machines you will need at least 10 to 12,000 rupees to buy such machines. In a small clinic also, since you are coming under Clinical Establishment Act, maybe if the person comes in, you are bound to answer him. A small shopkeeper also is bound to answer. He should also have a government calibrated weighing machine. But he will have for 5 kgs, so the cost is less. You will have for 150 kgs, so the cost is around 10,000 rupees. These are the various certificates you saw. Some photos I have put. So this is a typical Directorate of Medical and Rural Health Service certificate. This is from the Corporation of Chennai. And that is fire NOC. Just a glance of certificates. Then there's something called a shakedown period where you assemble everything, because you are also new into the hospital. Every staff is new into the hospital. So you have to work in homeostasis and certain things plus minus, all these things you have to deal. And then finally everything will work in its place. It will take at least 4 months for this to happen once you start. Okay. So never expect returns immediately. So if you are planning, if you are getting loans, you have to see to that you repay the loans only after a year. For at least next 12 months, you have to put your money from your hand to repay the loans. You cannot take any returns from the hospital. And make SOPs. Make SOPs for everything. For a patient coming to OPD, make an SOP. If the patient is a vulnerable category, make an SOP for that also. If the patient is a child, how you are going to deal. If the patient is in emergency, or if he is having giddiness, how you are going to deal. All these things you should have in papers. It's not an easy job, but these things are there. When you grow as a community, if as a doctor, when we want to grow, we have to lay down certain norms and protocols. So if you start doing that, then you will grow. If you're not going to do, then everything is unorganized and you will never grow. So functions of hospital, yes, patient care is very important. Apart from that, we have many other functions like health education, training, employment, and medical research. You know, you are fortunate, that's what I keep on telling. You are into an institute which does everything more than this, right? But these are the basic things that you have to concentrate. It's not just seeing patients. So, you know, hospitals have many services, main service, support service, and auxiliary services. Emergency services, you cannot deny That's what the laws say. You cannot deny a patient who is coming into emergency, but all that you can do is you can give any first aid if possible. If a patient of suspected myocardial infarction comes, what you can do? Probably you can try giving him a CPR, right? Right? Or if there is a fractured bone, you can try to keep the limbs so that it doesn't get damaged more. Or if there is a blood loss, you can tie and then send the patient to another hospital. So these type of basic first aids you are bound to do. You cannot reject the patient. Laws says even though you are an Ayush doctor, you have to handle these patients because that precious moments can make a difference of losing life or regaining it back. So you have to be equipped. So all these you know, specialty clinics, detoxification theaters, OT, physio, yoga, then many other support services where laundry and pharmacy, housekeeping, sanitation, medicine preparation area. It's not about food, but medicine also you can prepare every day. Like what? Like the freshly made kashayams, like the kalkams, you can make yourself and give to the patient. You need not depend on a medicine manufacturing unit to bring them. You can do it yourself. But for that, you need to have a special area. So you have to plan all these things priorly before building a hospital. Employee facilities, you should have at least a change room for them with a place to store their lunch bags and bags. Auxiliary services, you can have library, you can have dietary services, hospital security, place of worship. That also, since we are all dealing with holistic medicine, there has to be some place for worship in your hospital. It need not be a separate mandapam and all. It can be a simple place of worship. So generally, OPD specifications, you should have a dressing room if you are aiming on a hospital of more than 50 beds, and procedure room mandatory for hospitals of more than 50 beds, and minor OT can be optional, but it is mandatory for hospitals having more than 100 beds. So all these statutory requirements you should know before planning for a hospital. Other requirements in OPD is drinking water, electricity. These are the basic things. It's not your choice. You have to have all these things. You know, you can be sued. You can be sued if you are not providing water. No? You can come under legal purviews if you are not providing water. So it's small thing. Everybody will have a water counter and you provide water. But you know the legal implications. If you don't give, you can be sued. So wheelchair and trolley accessibility, very important. Always consider that when you are building your OPD. These are some of the things that has to be there in your OPD. Scope of services. What is this? What is this? What services you give. More than that, what services you don't give. That is very important. You can see there, I don't know how this pointer works. Some light is coming, it's not coming on the screen. Okay. Okay. So you can see here, services not available. This is very important when you are making scope of services. So services not available, support services, main services. You have to divide them. Then special services. All these things in bilingual. That is also very important. Not that everybody who comes to you can be a Tamil known person. Not that everybody who comes to you can be an English known person. So you should always have things bilingually. And as I already said, when you are building a hospital, you should have a vision. Okay, next 10 years, this is how I'm going to project my hospital. For that, you should have a mission. You should have a plan, right? So always in any corporate company you go, they will have a vision and mission. So you should also plan for a vision and plan for a mission to reach that vision. So always have this, so that has to be displayed everywhere. Generally, there has to be a warning to other people saying that we don't provide emergency services. As I said, ramps, very important. Feedback forms. If you want to grow, you should definitely have feedback forms. Then only you can grow. Feedback forms are a source of evaluation. Evaluating our services. And then we can improve. So feedback forms should always be there. Always have the doctor's name with the degree clearly displayed bilingually along with their timings. Even if you have a clinic, you should have your board with all these details. Even if it is a clinic, then you should have all these details. Always we think that we will have a table, we will have a chair, we will have a BP apparatus and steth. That is it. That is enough. But we have more things in your, you can have more things in your clinics for examinations. You can have laryngoscope. Hardly it is, costlier things are also there, 45,000, 50,000, but for 10,000, for 1,000, 2,000 and all, Amazon sells otoscope, laryngoscope with video. You can connect to a phone and you can see what is there in his throat or ears. So all those things are now available. Let it be Chinese products, but they are useful for us. So you can record, you can show to the patient. There are scanners for the scalp, hardly 1,000, 1,500 rupees. If you show that to the patient, they will be happy, they will think that you are more scientific. And they will never ever ignore you. Whatever you say, they will accept and start doing. So this is a video scanner of your scalp. Or any skin diseases, you can use this. This is what I said, a calibrated weighing machine. Yes, hand wash, I already told you about the taps. Hand wash techniques, kindly follow, you will also be taught this. Pharmacy, when you come to pharmacy, this is how you have to maintain. You should have a head cap for the pharmacists, you should have gloves for the pharmacists, and there are certain ways of how you can arrange the medicines. There are certain rules because see, you buy everything and keep, and when your patients are not there, such disease or disorder patients are not there, what will happen to the medicines? They will become waste, right? So you should plan your pharmacy according to your needs. Don't buy everything and keep. Slowly add your pharmacy profile. Slowly increase them, but don't go for costlier medicines. There's something called as FSN analysis. Do you know what is FSN? Fast moving, slow moving and non-moving. So you have to calculate what is fast moving, what is slow moving, what is non-moving, and plan your stocks accordingly. Then only you will be efficiently able to manage your pharmacy. Otherwise, you will invest a lot, but all those medicines you have to throw it out because they will expire soon. and always have an internal audit of every department once in 3 months. And not by the same department people, but other department. For therapy rooms, use the pharmacists. For pharmacy, use the therapists. For canteen, use some other department people there. So always try to have an internal, then only you'll know, you'll be able to maintain the stock list of not only drugs, but your assets and infrastructure. Always have high risk medicines kept separately. Do you all know about look-alike, sound-alike medicines? Have you ever heard of look-alike, sound-alike medicines? Yes? Good. So, small things but lead to big dangers. I had a patient. Good that he was a learned patient. This happened in my hospital. I am frank to accept this. I wrote Jadamamsi Churanam, which is Jadamanjil Churanam in Tamil. What will Jadamanjil Churanam give? A good peace of mind and sleep. So I gave them to mix it with water and drink or milk to drink in the night. But my pharmacist, what he did, he gave Jadamayadi Churnam. Jadamayadi Churnam is Ushnaviryam used for external application. But good that there was a bracket saying external use only. And the patient was able to learn it, and he called me and said, then also I didn't believe him. I told him to send photo. Then in that photo I found out that the mistake is from our side. Because it's not, I don't say that it is pharmacist mistake. We were not planning for this sound-alike, look-alike medicines previously. Now we have planned. So that is why we landed up in having this problem. The same way many medicines will look like in Ayurveda we have Sudarshana Churnam tablet. It will be very similar to Sarpagandha tablet. If you go to IMCOPS, both will be similar. And box, packing, everything will look similar. Instead of this, if you give that, that's all. Kada mudinjide. So you have to be very careful. Even though it is our medicines, there are a lot of risks. Please don't say that, no, our medicines are completely safe. Maybe for patients we can say, but practicing, we have to be very, very, very careful. You can also have a lab attached to your place. Maybe the lab will give you a generate separate income. So please plan for a lab also. When you plan for a lab, you have so many things to be followed for a lab. So all these things you would have seen, but just I'm putting it as photos. Sharps container. See, we are speaking about biomedical waste management. Have you ever heard about biomedical waste management? Yes? Good. Good that you are all informed. So, in that, when you use a needle, the needle has to be safely disposed. Otherwise, what will happen? You put it in your dustbin, somebody takes it and it pokes into his hand, and he gets a disease, then your hospital license will be suspended. That's all. No discussion at all there. Recently, I hope last week, there was an announcement from the minister saying that if some hospitals biomedical waste is seen outside, without any question, the hospital will be sealed. Health Minister of Tamil Nadu, Honorable Ma Subramaniam sir's statement. So, be very careful in planning all these things. Without biomedical waste management certificate, you cannot practice. Either at least you should get a clearance from them. If it is a hospital, you have to pay. Do you know how much you have to pay for air consent? 35,800. For water consent, 35,800. For a year. And for each bed, you have to pay 10 rupees every day for the people to collect your biomedical waste. So per day in my hospital, I have 20 beds, I'm paying 200 rupees per day. So imagine the cost for 6 months. Once in 6 months, this has to be paid. This is universally same for all hospitals. Let it be Siddha, let it be Ayurveda, let it be modern medicine, everywhere. But they generate lot of biomedical waste. What we generate used oils. Very rarely we generate leach, blood vomiters and other things. The real biomedical waste comes from the modern medicine, but we also have that responsibility of safeguarding our citizens. So we should also adhere to pollution control board's biomedical waste rules, and all these expenditure come inside that, so you have to plan all these things. This is one of the therapy theaters. Always we get emotional when we build hospitals or our own institute. First time when you build, you will always think, no, I will go for a wooden table. It will look classical. How many of you are thinking of taking a wooden table for your therapy center? No plans? Nobody has planned already? I bought it yesterday. So such kind of good quality FRP tables are available. The box, steam box, I made myself, because most of the market available steam box are small. Even I cannot fit into it. So it's better that steam boxes alone you can make. There are so many disposable things available in the market. Try to use them. When you get patients from outside India, they are very much keen and they are very much watchful whether we are using sterile items. So try to use, it might incur little more cost, but your level of quality assurance is more, that will give you more patients. So don't think that we can reuse. On a long run, that is not going to help you. We have Vasti speech can, we have oil Vasti can. All these are available in the market. So you can get them and use, and these are also available from yoga part of you also. So you should always have, so you cannot keep on telling you don't use needles, be careful. What if somebody pokes their hand with a used needle? So you should have a plan for that also. So that is why we have management of needle stick injury. You would have seen in your hospitals or at least in the lab. Note what are the stickers available in your campus. That will give you a good knowledge. And what if blood or body fluid fills down? There has to be a protocol for that because it is biomedical waste. You cannot just wipe it off and clean it. It's a biomedical waste. You have to be very careful because it can transfer many diseases if you're not cleaning properly. So all these things are there when you use, and in the therapy rooms, always name the medicines that you are taking for the patients. Otherwise it gets confused because in one therapy room, you can do at least 6 to 8 patients in a day. So if all the patients' medicines are stored there, everything gets confused. So always label them. Label them with the patient's name or UHID, whatever convenient. So this is typically one of yesterday's treatment chart of our hospital. Why I am showing you this is there are some good softwares available in the market for hospital maintenance. You cannot do everything on books. Of course, books are needed, but when you are inaugurating your clinic or hospital, the same time you should plan, or even before you have to plan for your own software from some company. We are using one company software. We are much satisfied with them, but this is how it comes. You can see the patient name, their phone number, their date of, time, their room number in which therapy is going to be done, the doctor who is going to supervise it, what kind of therapy it is, and what is the order, who are the therapists, who is the assistant therapist, whether it is a planned therapy or unplanned therapy. All these things come in software. And you can fit the room number and take the printout and put it in the rooms. So the staffs will know what is today's plan. And we circulate this into the WhatsApp group of therapists also. We have a group called therapy slots. So we circulate this, so the day before people will know what therapies are going to happen. And before they leave, they will study this, and whatever new, any medicine are needed, anything new needed, they will take from the pharmacy and keep it ready for the next day. So these kind of plannings you have to do. Otherwise, after the patient comes, you have to run. If the patient comes for Vasti and if you don't have a can or if you don't have any oil for the Vasti, then you have to run. So IPDs, generally you should have all these things: primary requirements, secondary requirements, sanitary, ancillary requirements. Patient rooms should have all these facilities. All these things, you know, a standard restaurant, a lodge will have all these things. You should have all these things in your patient room also. This is how the rooms are allotted in your software, and this is how it looks after allotting the patients. So you will come to know in which room who is there, and usually we give such room kits to the patients along with the remote, steriled remote. This is a typical IPD. Some rooms we have metallic cots and some room we have wooden cots, because the patient shouldn't have a feeling that they are into a typical hospital. So that is why we use all disposable bedspreads. After COVID, this has become a standard in our hospital. You are using only disposed bedspreads. General ward beds. Always plan for a lanine room, because you should store all the IPD room requirements, mats, then the additional stretchers and other things you have to keep. So you have to plan a room for that. So if you don't plan, then all those things stay in your rooftop or somewhere else and it is not accessible. So always plan. Patient identification is very important. We have only 20 beds. What is there in identifying patient? No, don't think that. Always tag the patients. It will be difficult to do the therapies, but tag the patients. It's very important to tag the patients. And there are some patients' rights you have to know. If you say leech therapy is good for you, sir, attai vidal is good for you, you please take. If the patient says, no, I cannot take, then you have to respect his decision. And you have to give him alternate methods. This is what is patient's right. You cannot go against the patient. You cannot restrain him and do the leech therapy. Not possible. He can go to the court of law against you. So you should always take a consent, written consent signed by the patient before starting the treatment, because it is legally safe for you. Small things, but very important. Always give an estimate of the treatment in printed form, get it signed by the patient and keep one copy with you. Why? Why? Because after finishing all the treatments, the patient may say, I never expected this much money, sir. You are taking too much, I cannot pay. What will you do then? So you have to be safe first. So always get a written consent and an estimate copy signed by the patient. Give a separate space for nurse station. Then we have the dietary department where cleanliness of room, labeling of all items. This is very important. You are not permitted to have gases inside your canteen. Do you know this? You are not permitted in any commercial establishments. You cannot keep your gases, commercial gases inside, because there is a chance of blast, and where it will all affect every staff, every patient of the hospital. So you should always keep them open in open spaces and connect them to your canteen. It's a small thing. In a bigger hospital, they will have all these things. If you go to malls, at your food court, you have 50, 100 food courts. But have you ever seen a gas there? When you come outside, you can see separate cabin where gases are kept. Have you ever seen this? In many high-storied buildings also now, this is how they are storing the gases. Small things, but very important. Maintaining the temperature of the fridge. You will think that, okay, I have put everything in fridge, it will be safe. Tomorrow morning, I will take the milk and do vasti. What if the milk is spoiled in the night, if fridge doesn't work? So there is something that has to be done to maintain the temperature of the fridge, upper compartment, lower compartment, and you have to maintain a register for that also. All this looks very tedious, but if you follow, your quality of service will improve. And this is very, very important. I hope none of us do this, but we do at our hospital and any NABH institute, like our Dr. Sri Krishna's institute is also there. That is also NABH accredited 150 years old hospital in Chennai. And we follow these things. You have to vaccinate the canteen workers and deworm them once in 6 months. Why? 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 What if the patient has typhoid and he is putting his hand to mix barota and make barota for you? Or what if the patient has typhoid, just went to the toilet, serving water with your finger dipped inside it and serving it? What will happen for you? What if he has a worm infestation and uses hand to mix chapati's maav and makes chapati out of it? What will happen? So your canteen workers have to be vaccinated and dewormed periodically. Very important. I don't think many of them are following it, but NABH institutes will follow. This is labeling. Whenever we put something, we label. Very important, because some old stocks will be there. It might be 2 years old also. Nobody knows how old it is. So that is why when you open and put, you have to name it. Even this, at home also, you have to do all these things. HR department, maintenance of records. Very important. Medical laws point of view, maintenance of medical records are very important. You should have them in safe and secure places with cross-verified and signed. This is how the medical record is typically calculated and done. So Dr. Dinesh's sign is there. So we finally cross-verify them and then store them in our medical records. Yoga department, as I already told you, try to have an integrated setup, because the whole place can be utilized. Morning 7 to 9 yoga sessions can go. 9 to 11 Siddha doctor can see. 11 to 1 therapies can happen. Evening 4 o'clock some Surya Namaskaram classes can happen. 6 to 9 OPDs can happen. You can utilize the place. You can have a lot of doctors. Don't think that your friend will overtake you. Don't think that your friend will overtake you. So try to integrate everything there. So Varma departments are also important. You all know. Before starting NIS, even at Anna Hospital, Varma department was not very much active, but now everywhere in all the state and central institutes, Varma is very active. Naturopathy, leech storage. Leeches need cool temperature. So now they are living in my room, because my room is air conditioned. So I've kept the leeches as my pets at my home, at my room. So all this will be new for us, but try to learn and adapt many new instruments into your practice. Bedside traction, standard traction, TENS. Another important department, hope you all guessed here, hair beauty. What is that? Practically saying, you have to convince a lot for Siddha or Ayurveda therapies for the patient. But when you give this options, see madam, we have this department where we do all beauty and, okay sir, when shall I come? That's how things are. So we have a separate department. You should also plan for this. Why I am saying this, you should plan for such departments in your hospital because they give you additional revenue. Dr. Sri Krishna also has a very good department like this in his hospital, and we also have, and people who wants to grow should think about these options, because classical Siddha and Ayurveda treatments, as I said, difficult to convince the patients, but here patients will automatically come. So safety and hygiene part, we have many other things. So fire, pass and race, this is, we give trainings, we will see those photos. As I told, elbow taps, restrooms. This is how your sanitary workers have to be safeguarded. They have to wear gloves and they have to wear masks. This is very important because they can transmit diseases. That is also there. Biomedical waste management, I told you, it is minimum requirement for hospitals now. For clinics, it is just a undertaking, but for hospitals, it's a recurring thing that is happening. You have to have at least 4 colored buckets, dustbins, disposables, prescription pads, libraries for the patients, CCTV monitoring, some space for morning walk. When you plan for hospitals, you can also think about franchise model. Have you ever heard of franchise model? Yes. So franchise model also you can think. I am ready to give franchise. Okay. So it's not just seeing patients that will give you revenue. There are other sources of generating revenue in your hospital. So it can be not only consultations, it can be counselings. It is medicines and disposables. Then you have procedures which can give you earnings. You can do house visits, laboratory investigations, conducting short-term courses like diploma in Panchakarma, diploma in nursing and all you can do. We have associated with BSS and we are conducting diploma in Ayurvedic Panchakarma, Ayurvedic therapy course. So we can also do clinical research, content writing and other things. Oh. Okay. So this is from BSS that we are officially partnered, we have officially partnered. So you can also officially partner with some of these agencies to conduct courses. But don't conduct courses of clinical practice, because many people do that. In 3 days online course, you become a doctor. You can start prescribing and all. Many online ads are coming. So don't do that. Ethically, always be very ethical, but still you can be successful and you can earn. Promotions, make others know through brochures, bits, flyers, charity, websites, camps, article write-ups, speeches, lectures, like what I am doing now. So I hope you will all know about Chennai Heritage Hospital today. So that is also a way of marketing. Boardings, hoardings everywhere. Bus back ads, website, in online media things, reels online. And when you think about upgradation, once you settle, once you earn revenue, you cannot stagnate there, right? You may need to think about upgradation. That time you can think about, see, this specialty beauty department. Our hospital was inaugurated in 2014. I established this part in 2017. But I had a space for that. Like that, you have to keep on expanding. If you are not having space and scope at your place, go for a new branch. In that way also you can expand. So, or otherwise you can upgrade your services by going for accreditations with ISO or NABH. For us, NABH is more relevant because the biggest challenge is any nearby patient will not automatically come to you. In a modern hospital, when he has a chest pain, automatically you will go to the nearest hospital. But will he come to you? So how can you drag patients? You should have cashless claims. Right? For cashless claims, you should have NABH accreditation. So for NABH accreditation, whatever we saw for the past 1.5 hours, all that has to be there with you. So if you are considering NABH accreditations, then your patient inflow will increase. If you get NABH, you will get CGHS empanelment, you will get ECHS empanelment, you get BSNL empanelment, all this Air India and other corporates empanelment, and you will start getting more patients. So you don't need to go for ads and look for patients. They will automatically come to you. For that, you have to get empaneled. For that, you have to get accredited. For that, you have to follow all these things. And finally, there are some fundings that state and central governments can give you for starting a hospital based out of some specialty or some research. So there are so many available websites and schemes. You can refer them online for getting funds. Probably these are little old because this was taken from my old presentation. So you can search in internet. You are all stalwarts in internet. You can search in internet and take what is the latest from Ayush website. You can take the references. Center of Excellence, about 5 crore rupees fund can be taken from the government if you are aiming for Center of Excellence. Always people have this doubt whether I can practice at my home. Front, I will allot one room. I will start my practice. Is it legal or not? It is legal. As far as you don't dispense medicine. Not as a pharmacy. From your own stock, if you give some medicines and you cost the patient all throughout with your consultation along with medicines, it is still legal. You can have about 100 square meter of area for this purpose. 100 square meter. That comes about roughly 2000 square, which is double bedded flat. But you should have a kitchen there. You should also live there. If you take a flat for rent and run a clinic completely, then it is commercial. You have to change the EB to commercial, and probably if it is a rented place, then if it is already in housing rental, the owner will face problems in converting that into a commercial project. So you have to be very careful in that. Once you start, then people from corporation will come and start pestering you. So you have to be careful in that. And you should also know about insurances. I have my doctor, Dr. Dinesh here. He is a medical officer and Verma expert at our hospital. And I want him to share a few words on the insurance processes, because through insurance you can make a lot of money. I mean, you can bring more patients. I'm saying ethically, nothing unethical here. but you can bring more patients, you can bring more footfalls. So for insurance to happen, it is very difficult. In the same hall, about 6 months back, we had a discussion, hope you all know, we had a discussion on insurance guidelines for Ayush hospitals. Same hall it happened. Unfortunately, nobody came to a conclusion that day. That is what happened. So, finally, you should have NABH and you should fight to get all these things. That's all. So, I would call Dr. Dinesh to speak few words so that I can take some rest in between. And last concluding part, we will continue. And we will also have an important announcement about Ayush Expo that is happening in August 28 to 31 in Chennai. It's called Arogya. You have heard about this Arogya fair being organized by Ministry of Ayush every year. It will happen in Hyderabad, Goa, Delhi, everywhere. But this is the first time after long years it is happening in Chennai. So I have Dr. Sri Krishna who is going to explain on that later. We will have these sessions now. Madam, is there a break now? They want a break. I could read their mind. Yes, so we'll meet shortly, probably in 5 minutes. And it's already 4, maybe another 10-15 minutes we'll have a session. Is that okay, madam? Or we will conclude? Okay.
So I am Dr. Dinesh, BSMS, working as medical officer at Chennai Heritage Hospital since 2023. So it's my 3rd year with Dr. Sivakumar sir. I would like to thank him for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir. Okay. So sir பேசினதுக்கு அப்புறம் how do you guys feel? Do you feel motivated, positive or confident? சத்தம் பத்தலே. Okay. How many of you are from first generation? You are the first generation Siddha doctors from your family? Awesome. Okay. So how many of your second generation? Only 2? Okay, fine. So what your fathers are doing? He's practicing Siddha or Ayurveda? Siddha. Next one? Brother. Okay. He's practicing. Okay, fine. Okay. So what's your plan after listening to Dr. Sivakumar's speech? So what's your plan after finishing BSMS? How many of you are going to do PG? How many of you are willing to do PG in NIS? Only at NIS. Okay, fine. All the very best for your future. So at first you must thank God that you have got a very good college where you get 3. I am from RVS Siddha Medical College. As a private college, we face a lot of issues. We don't get enough OPD. We don't get enough training. So you are blessed and you are very lucky. Make use of it wise. Nobody will get a chance. Because when I was doing UG, we didn't have UG at NIS. So you all are very lucky. So use all your talented professors and doctors who are practicing here and working here. They are all very well talented people. So you are all lucky, first of all. Okay. So after getting NABH, what has to be done is you need to go for empanelment. What is empanelment? Any idea? No. Okay. Empanelment is where you go and tie up with the insurance companies or TPS, third party agencies for certain insurance companies are there. So you need to approach them for empanelment and you need to follow up with the procedures they tell you. First of all, everything is kept digitally. You need not go to their office, you need not go to them, you need not go and search for people. You go to their website, find their mail IDs, send up a mail approaching for empanelment. So after that, they will send you a response mail, and as said, all the statutory documents are mandatory. That is what NABH states again. So list of statutory documents shown by Dr. Sivakumar sir is all mandatory. So basically you people might think, how could I get all these things? It takes time. So those who wants to practice, just start up initially. After you finish up, don't wait for your going to find jobs or things. Just grow up your talents. Just go practice yourself. Then you will do everything slowly. You can't go and get everything immediately after you finish UG. I know this might strike your brain. After I finish UG, how will I go and get all these statutory documents and things? Slow and steady wins the race. So that's the thing you have to have in your mind. Just be confident, go practice or work somewhere and gain experience. So as said, you have scope in central government and state government jobs. Experience is mandatory. Without experience, you can't go into a central government or state government jobs. You should be aware of that also. So when you go for empanelment, you need to submit the requested documents. They will be asking you maximum the account details of your hospital things. You need to submit the account numbers, MICR, IFSC, A to Z of your account details is mandatory, including income tax return certificate, everything they will be asking you. So after you do empanelment, your hospital will be listed into their website. So stating that your approval for cashless, you can do cashless at your hospital. So far we have been doing cashless with certain companies at our hospital also. So we have applied for many TPAs. TPAs, they hold nearly 70 to 80 companies under them, but patient who comes to us will have straight insurance with companies only. They will not go for TPAs. Certain corporate people, they will have associated with TPA. So when you plan for a hospital at Chennai, as Dr. Sivakumar sir said, he has a broad vision. After being with him for 3 years, I have been learning many things. I should thank you for giving me this job, first of all, sir. I am learning a lot of things. You are a big mastermind behind this hospital, I know. You have learned many things. You have gone so far to many places, but I couldn't do, but I am learning things from you. I must thank for this on the stage. So he has a huge experience. That is what I tell him. So he's always there to guide me. So after you go into empanelment and do things, and please put it on your website. That is why you need a website for you. Even if you go for a clinic also, you can get NABH. There is standards for clinic also. And there have been certain rates fixed by central government for Siddha treatments also. So you should go through that before going into NABH and fixing your rates for the hospitals and things. Even if you start up a clinic, go for NABH accreditation. You can go. Not only hospitals needed, but even if you have a 5-bedded, nothing to worry, you can go. Even if you have your own house, start your practice with your own house. Instead of giving it to rent and getting income, you can start your own business. So I have my own clinic at Dindukal. So when I met director sir, he was suggesting us to motivate you. So I am not hiding anything from you. I am very frank. So I make around 30 to 40,000 per month from my clinic. It is only known to my boss so far, and nobody knows. So that is how I am just passed out at 2023. Just 2023. I am not too senior for you guys. I am just passed out at 2023. That's it. So after you finish insurance, empanelment things, put it on your website, people will automatically come to you. Having that, okay, he has cashless. So when you go for things, you must opt for daycare facilities also. Certain companies, they give for daycare facilities also when you go to insurance companies. So all these things are mandatory for you. So please be confident, practice, and make your future brighter. Don't be afraid that we will not be getting enough paid or enough income. You will have a bright future. As you are all from this, make use of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh. So he wanted to start a clinic and he asked me, I said, you go ahead. Now he is working here in the week and weekend he is going to his clinic and practicing. So that is how you have to grow. That is what he was explaining here. And always, if you go to a job, don't settle there. Aim high. You have to plan things. So a good example I would say is my medical officer, Dr. Dinesh. Okay, so always plan things ahead. I visited China in between and I was interacting with the TCM, traditional Chinese medicine hospital there. They are much ahead of us. I saw the essence of the kashayams they have in packets and they are able to give that in IV. So such kind of advancements they have done in TCM. And no more oils, they use only creams for massages and other things. So I saw that, I asked them, they said, we were using oils, but now we are not using oils due to the place hygiene and sanitation things, we have avoided using oils. So China also treats with all our herbs. And when I was called, I went through the government. So I had made a paper to say that, yes, our system is the oldest, from that only Chinese system came, all these things. And I was ready to speak because I was well prepared. But when the conference started, the main speaker, he addressed, as you all know, that Chinese system originated from Indian system of medicine. This is how he started. So all my preparations went in vain. So China also has a rich tradition, but they have taken their system to a long way ahead of us. You know, the entire market size of herbal medicine, in that 80% is taken, 83% is taken by China all over the world. Indian system of medicine is only 10%. We always boast that we are the king of Indian medicine. But what? We are only taking 10% of the overall revenue our system contributes. So we have a lot of scope. That is why I'm saying, if not hospitals, you can also think about manufacturing unit. I also have a manufacturing unit and we manufacture medicines. I hope you all know about Arya Vaidya Pharmacy. Some of our friends have set up clinics in Latvia, and there are so many Switzerland and other places. Many things are happening in our field. Yes, so after setting up the hospital, is that enough? No. You have to run the hospital efficiently. For that, you need to follow a lot of things. So these are the small things, how to respect and how to coordinate with your co-workers. Dr. Dinesh said boss, but I don't behave that way. He knows that, but just out of emotional thing, he said, I think he said boss, but I don't believe in that concept. I give equal respect and I expect the same. So that's how things are. So other work-friendly environment where you have all these things, uniformity in maintaining dress code, maintaining timings, and all those things. Everything adds to your resume, adds to your hospital's resume or clinic's resume. So plan all these things. You should have committees. You should have all these committees if you are planning for a hospital. Importantly, this POSH committee, I hope you know, because we now have all male, female staffs. So what is POSH committee? Yes, prevention of sexual harassment, yes. So you should have people who are concerned about it and who can handle things. So if you're an organization, then you have to vest the responsibility to certain committees and let the committees do the things. So these things, in going forward, you should decide all these things and plan. So, as I said, trainings, very important. Don't think that my staff knows how to use a wheelchair. Don't think my staff knows how to use a stretcher. When an emergency comes, if he is not able to use, everything is gone. Teach them, even if they know, teach them again, and again. Keep on doing it, because training is a continuous process. So keep on doing it. See, we are training our staffs with mannequins, about CPR, then fire trainings usually happen. How to handle a wheelchair on a ramp, inside a lift, all these things. How to use a stretcher. So all these trainings keep on happening. First responder training. If you don't need to be a doctor to do all these things. When you see somebody has fallen, broken his limb, you should know what to be done, because everybody will immediately call you, doctor, please see. You will take your coat and go in your bus. That time you cannot go and say, no, sir, I am only first year. No, you cannot say. You have to be ready to do a CPR. As I already said, CPR is not for doctors. Every citizen should know CPR. So precious lives can be taken, can be saved if you know CPR. So you have to undergo trainings for all these things. As I already told, hand wash training. Yes. Then dealings with mistakes. Yes. As I already told, mistakes are bound to happen. You cannot pinpoint anybody. If there is a mistake, there is something else going wrong, not with the person, but with the system that you follow. Try to correct that system instead of correcting the person. Correct the person, but if there is a lacuna in your system, then correct it. So previously we used to scribble. So that is why that Jata Mayadi, Jata Mamsi confusion came. After that we started writing, we started using the softwares. So now that mistake doesn't happen, and then we started dividing the sound-alike, look-alike medicines. So we overcame that like this. Instead, if I have fought with that staff, I would have fired him and he would have gone. But the mistakes would have started coming again and again, right? So try to find a solution rather than to give an excuse. So as I said, in the first year, you might face a lot of troubles. You have to accept them, expect them, accept them, and then come out of it. So first year, you will have some problems, financial crunches. You learn a lot. You learn a lot about certain medicines. When you give in clinics, they will not work. So you learn. We have a medicine called Hasti Danta Mashi. You have heard about this? Hasti Danta Mashi is for alopecia in Ayurveda. Okay, it is made with Hasti is Yanai, Dantam is trunk. யானை தந்தத்தால் செய்யப்பட்ட மருந்து இப்போ இது மார்க்கெட்டில் இல்லை, முதல்ல இருந்தது. அந்த மருந்தோடைய செய்முறையில் கடைசியாக என்ன போட்டிருப்பாங்கன்னா, ரொம்ப கேர்ஃபுல்லாக ஹேண்டில் பண்ணுங்க, ஏன்னா உள்ளங்கையில் பட்டுச்சுன்னா உள்ளங்கையில் கூட முடி முளைச்சிரும் அப்படின்னு போட்டிருப்பாங்க. இதை நம்பி மருந்து கொடுத்தா அந்த மருந்து வேலை செய்யாது. ஏன்னா இன்றைக்கும் மார்க்கெட்டில் அந்த மருந்து இருக்குது, அதில் யானை தந்தம் இல்லை, அதுக்கு பதிலாக ஏதோ சப்ஸ்டியூட் போட்டு செய்கிறாங்க. யானை தந்தம் போட்டாலும் அந்த மாதிரி முளைக்காது. ஆனால் எதுக்காக அப்படி ஒரு விஷயம் சொல்லியிருக்காங்கன்னு பின்னாடி தான் புரிஞ்சுது. அந்த மெடிசன் அவ்வளோ எஃபெக்டிவ்ன்றதை இலைமறை காயாக அப்படி சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க இல்லையா? ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி சில விஷயங்களை வந்து நம்ம புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுல தப்பு இருக்கலாம் இல்லையா? அதனால நம்ம கொஞ்சம் பிளான் பண்ணணும், கேர்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்கணும். லீகல் ரெகுலேஷன்ஸில் ப்ராப்ளம் வரலாம். நம்ம இந்த சர்டிஃபிகேட்ஸ்லாம் வாங்கலாம், திடீர்னு யாருன்னா உள்ளே வருவாங்க. சம் 4-5 இயர்ஸ் என்ன நடக்குது இங்கே அப்படின்னு கேட்டார். சார் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் தான் சார். அப்படியா, சர்டிஃபிகேட்ஸ் கொடுங்கன்னா நான் இல்லை, ஸ்டாஃப்ஸ் எடுத்து கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. அப்போது மெயின் சர்டிஃபிகேட் டைரக்டரேட் ஆஃப் மெடிக்கல் அண்ட் ரூரல் ஹெல்த் சர்வீஸ்லேருந்து கொடுக்க வேண்டிய கிளினிக்கல் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷ்மெண்ட் சர்டிஃபிகேட்டை காட்டவே இல்லை. எல்லா சர்டிஃபிகேட்டையும் காட்டினோடனே அவர் போலீஸ் கடுப்பாயிட்டார். எனக்கு இதெல்லாம் வேண்டாம், எனக்கு DPH சர்டிஃபிகேட் கொடுங்கன்னு சொன்னதுக்கப்புறம் அவர் கடுப்பாகி போயிட்டார். அப்புறம் நான் ஒரு ஸ்டாஃப் அனுப்பிச்சு அதை கொடுத்ததுக்கப்புறம் அதை பார்த்த உடனே ஓகேன்னு சொல்லி அனுப்பிச்சிட்டார். ஒன்லி ஒன் சர்டிஃபிகேட். அந்த சர்டிஃபிகேட்டு வாங்கிறதுக்கு நம்ம இவ்வளோ சர்டிஃபிகேட்ஸ் வாங்கணும். ஆனால் அந்த சர்டிஃபிகேட் அன்னைக்கு இல்லைன்னா ஐ வுட் ஹவ் பீன் இன் ட்ரபிள். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரியான விஷயங்கள்லாம் இருக்குது. ஏன்னா வி ஆர் டூயிங் ஜென்யூன் சர்வீஸ். ஆனால் அதில் பிரச்சனைகள் வர்றதுக்கு ஆனால் நிறைய வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்குது. ஸோ யூ ஹேவ் டு பி வெரி கேர்ஃபுல். ப்ளோ த ப்ளூஸ். ஸோ ஃபஸ்ட் இயரில் உங்களுக்கு வந்து சில பிரச்சனைகள் வரலாம். கன்சிஸ்டண்ட்டாக நீங்கள் ஒர்க் பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருந்தீங்கன்னா யூ வில் பி ஏபிள் டு கம் அவுட் ஆஃப் ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ். This is the only profession where people pay you and praise you. Am I true or not? Yes? காசையும் கொடுத்துட்டு சாமி நீ நல்லா இருக்கணும்ப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு போகிற ஒரே ப்ரொஃபஷன் இந்த ப்ரொஃபஷன் தான். அதனால் this is the profession one they pay you and praise you. I already told you about ROI. You are your own boss. Okay? And patients can bring new patients. எந்த ஃபீல்டில் நடக்கும்? ட்ரூ கம்யூனிகேஷன் அண்ட் ட்ரூ மார்க்கெட்டிங் இஸ் த்ரூ பேஷண்ட்ஸ் டெல்லிங். மோர் கான்ஃபிடென்ட் த தேர்ட் பேஷண்ட் ஹூ இஸ் கம்மிங் டு யூ வில் ஹாவ் மோர் கான்ஃபிடென்ட் ஆன் யூ. ஸோ இது எந்த ஃபீல்ட்லையும் நடக்காது, இந்த ஃபீல்டில் தான் நடக்கும். அண்ட் சில ஃபீல்டெல்லாம் இருக்குது, நல்ல சம்பளம் வரும், ஆனால் நீங்கள் நடுக்கடலில் போய் ஒர்க் பண்ணணும் இல்லையா? ஷிப் கேப்டன் இருக்காங்க, நல்ல earning, but you may not have a peaceful life. But not this profession. You can be with your family, you can be with your kids, still you can practice. Yes, in Ayush sector relatively no competition. So அதனால அரும்பாக்கத்தில் மட்டும் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் வச்சிடாதீங்க, வேற எங்க வேணா வைங்க. Income is quite consistent, and very importantly, Nisla kuda you could have seen many people after their tenure of 3 years or 5 years they get transferred, right? They get transferred to different centers, so they have to go, they have to switch over. But ungalode own place na nobody is going to ask you to go for a transfer, right? Finally, if you do all these things, you will be definitely having a success, not only in your professional life but in your personal life also. ஏன்னா நம்ம தமிழில் என்ன சொல்லுவோம், உத்தியோகம் புருஷ லட்சணம். புருஷன்னா ஹஸ்பண்ட் இல்லை, புருஷா இன் சான்ஸ்கிரிட் மீன்ஸ் ஹியூமன் பீயிங். ஸோ do a good profession, do a noble profession, be ethical, earn. This is the only field, as I told you, get good earnings. முதல்ல இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் இருக்கும், அப்புறம் போக 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 ஒன்லி ஏர்னிங்ஸ் தான் இருக்கும். அதனால் ஆல்வேஸ் ஹாவ் யுவர் ஓன் கான்ஃபிடென்ஸ் இன் எஸ்டாப்ளிஷிங், as Dr. Dinesh said, let it be clinic, let it be hospital, let it be 10-bedded, 5-bedded, 20-bedded, 30-bedded. There is a scope for development always. So start as a clinic, then go into, so I started my clinic in 2010. I started my hospital in 2014. I started my Mogapere branch in 2019. So this is how the growth has to be. After 2010 March, I wrote exams. Then I never wrote exams. After 14 years, I studied once again. and I wrote my Ph.D. exams, and I got through, and now I'm pursuing my Ph.D. also. So always keep learning. It's not about academic qualification. I don't want you to think about academic qualification, but whatever patient comes, keep learning about the diseases. You will see, 10th time you read, it will give a broader meaning. 3rd time, 10th time you read, it will give a more in-depth meaning. So that's how our books are written. If you keep on reading, you will get more out of it. Same book only. But with your experience adding up, you will get more inputs from the textbook. So keep learning, never go out of the learning mode. It's not just academic learning, but learning everywhere. So with that, I conclude my speech. So I hope with all my 10 to 12 years of experience, I am able to convey certain things to you. Was the session informative for you all? Yes, sir. Is there any thought that came into your mind after listening to my presentation about establishing a hospital or clinic? Ever got some thought, okay, I can do. No, this is too risky, I cannot do. Any thoughts like that? In Tamil we say, வாழ்க்கையே போர்க்களம் வாழ்ந்துதான் பார்க்கணும். எங்கேயுமே ரிஸ்க் இல்லாத விஷயமே கிடையாது. So everywhere take risks and succeed. ஒரே இடத்துல உட்கார்ந்திருந்தா நமக்கும் மரத்துக்கும் வித்தியாசமே இல்லாத போயிடும். மரம் கூட ஒரே இடத்துல இருந்து நமக்கு பெனிஃபிட்ஸை கொடுத்துட்டு இருக்கும். ஒன்றுமே இல்லைன்னா நிழல்னாவது கொடுக்கும். நம்ம ஒரே இடத்துல நின்னா நிழல் கூட யாருக்கும் கொடுக்க முடியாது. அதனால we have to be meaningful to the society. Okay? And importantly, this I have to say, girl students, please do practice after your completion of course. Many people, I have seen many people, some of my classmates are Singapore, are working in, are sitting in USA, Denmark, Singapore, and they are not practicing. They are just housewives. Kindly don't do that. Please, wherever you are, now our system is legalized. Wherever you are. One of my friend is in Germany. She is practicing there. She went with her husband, but now she is earning more than her husband there. So that's how, see opportunities on the constraints that you get. Always be opportunistic. Never leave your system. Do something for its promotion. Do something so that the system gets known to at least your surrounding. Okay? Thank you very much for the opportunity. I once again thank our director in charge, Sendil sir, for giving me this opportunity to address you all today. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I call Dr. Krishna to come here to speak on this conference that we have in the August month. Please come, Doctor. So as I already said, he is also a 7th generation physician. I am not wrong, I think. 7th generation physician. His mother is a postgraduate in Ayurveda, and they hold a company which is called Ayurveda-Siramam. You would have heard about Aruna syrup, very old syrup, it was very common. It's in the market for past 150 years. It's been manufactured by their company. And there is one more medicine for immunity called Sasivilas. Have you ever heard about this? This is manufactured by their company. It's called Ayurveda-Siramam. Very traditional, and they are keeping up the tradition even though it is 150 years. So they are also into promoting our system. So this field, how we are united is, we are part of NASIA. NASIA is National Ayurvedic Students and Youth Association. So Dr. Jaikar is the president, and we are joint secretaries in NASIA. So NASIA has been given this responsibility of conducting this Arogya fair in Chennai, after probably 25 years. So, we have called Dr. Krishna to speak on this program. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I think Dr. Shiva deserves a standing ovation. Can we all give him that? Yes, yes. Why I say is, if this information, if we had when we were in first year or second year, it would have been a different ball game altogether. He has put 13 years of his experience in the last 1 hour and given it to you as a piece of cake, right? And this is really 13 years of sweat and blood for him, right? So I think it was very insightful session. Coming back to the event, so as doctor was saying, it is an international Ayush Arogya Mela, right? And you learned how the foundation can work, the platform can work in the last 1 hour. And now you are in the study phase where you have to grab more information. And here is one such opportunity. So looking more detailed into that, so you are going to have lot of scientific sessions. It is, as doctor said, it is for the Ayush system. We have topics on all the levels: Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy. And we have we have eminent speakers from various segments who is going to address. And it is not a one-day this thing. It is going to be a 4-day activity. And this is the first time the Ayush Ministry itself is conducting such a program at Tamil Nadu. So that is the highlight of the event. So I would like you all to cancel all your plans and ensure that you are there in Chennai from August 28th to 31st. Right, doctor? Thank you. So there is going to be 3-point focus. One is the research, and next is the innovation, and of course the integration, which Dr. Shiva has been talking about. So I think all of this you are going to get a lot more exposure through this Arogya Expo that is going to be scheduled towards the end of August. Yeah, I requested Dr. Shiva to stay back so that he can fill in the gaps. So we have something very interesting. I think you are all the the millennials or Gen Alpha who are computer friendly and into that. And we have some nice competitions on those lines. We have the reel competition and we have the short film competition. As you can see, the topic, it is role of Ayush in de-addiction, and you can explore the hidden gem of Ayush, right? So what is the awareness that we are creating through this short film competition? So I think it's time to group up and come out with an idea. Like Shiva sir said, plan, execute so that you're there before the deadline. And you also have an innovative reel competition wherein you're going to break down the health related myths in the current era, right? You have so much of misinformation, right? Every Tom, Dick and Harry wants to give a solution. Yes, an engineer gives a health solution, right? So we have different versions of things. So as Dr. Shiva said, it is a double-edged sword. We need to take the momentum in the right direction. So hidden traditional food recipes and patient versus doctors. So these are all different topics that we have given. This will be also circulated to you by the faculty in your WhatsApp groups so that you can have these things. So we also have the oral presentation topics. As you can see, basic medical sciences of Ayush. Anything you want to add, doctor? Yeah, please.
You will have credit points in your UG and PG.
Yes.
There is something called credit points, I hope you know. So you'll get credit points when you are presenting papers here.
I think that's an important part of your course completion now. So you, we have ensured that you get your credit points too. So like, I'll just quickly brush through this. So basic medical sciences of Ayush, then pharmacology, Gunapadam or clinical researches, clinical cases, then Shalya Tantra, Aruvai Marutvam, then ethics or policy, education, regulatory affairs, emerging technologies, right? An integrative approach of Ayush towards wellness and Gunapada.
So, Gunapadam, and of course all topics, but since we are going into the research field, we have not put the basic Kodandai Marthum, Sirappu Marthum, Noyinadal, we have not put all those things here. So we are going to work on the research. This conference is going to focus on the research. So make the best use of this. I hope Dr. Sri Krishna is the best person to tell about the short reel contest. I hope, I'm not sure whether you know because, yes, so most of you know, so he's a famous popular personality. He has 400K followers in his Instagram account. And the best is, as I always say, I like this lungi dance short video of him. I hope you would all enjoyed it. Yes, please continue.
Yes, thank you. So, yeah, as Dr. Shiva said, that's an innovation area. We are all interested in technology. So, give it a shot. You will know where you are. And at the same time, we have also ensured for a 4-day seminar, the cost is definitely worth it. You have a 2,000 rupees plus GST. So, those of you participating in the oral aspects and the this thing, so you have the last date of, I think, 10th of August. 10th of August, we are having the last date. So, yes, I think I don't need to mention what this is. Does anybody have a doubt? Yeah, you all have your devices. So please do follow in on the page. That is the first thing, first support that you can extend to the event. And from there on, let's march together to make this a successful event. Don't forget, it is an Ayush event and we are all in this together, spreading the awareness at the international level, right? Is there anybody who has not followed? I hope I get some 100 plus.
Sendil sir has assured 600 registrations, doctor.
Precisely. So now your next duty, one job is you following now. Now you have to take a snapshot of it and put it in your group so that the rest
Kindly
of them
share
can follow.
it.
Yes.
Kindly share it to make it known to other people. Because we are covering all Chennai colleges, we are about to cover all the other colleges of other towns. So before that, I want you all to spread the news.
And it is at Kill Park at Wings Convention Center. It is the place to have these things. And okay, you are not, we have currently declared the first prize to be 5,000 rupees, second prize to be 2,500 and third prize to be 1,000. So you could reach out to us for further details. Yeah. So looking forward for your 100% participation in the event. See you all there. Thank you.
And there is one more important event going to happen, which is called Startup Singham. You have heard about this in Vijay TV. So if you have any innovative ideas, you want to pitch in the ideas and you are looking for some investors, the same thing that happened in Vijay TV is going to happen here live for Ayush students. So if you have some innovative ideas in Ayush sector and if it is going to be a good revenue model, people are going to invest in your ideas. So if you have something like that, these things at my other institute, Sairam, where I worked, they have something called as hackathon. They have some this entrepreneurship things and all going on. So I'm not sure whether such things are happening here. So this is a good platform for you to exhibit your talent and exhibit your idea. If it is a good revenue model, then they are going to invest and you are going to become an entrepreneur. As I already told one of the students, but is this his own platform? Now you have a platform to do that. So if you have an idea, you are the king there. So please do register yourself for all these things to happen. Registration is mandatory, and then comes the film competitions, the short film, short reel competition, and the startup Singham things and all. So please do come, and we have 150 plus stalls, not just by companies, but also relevant companies, labeling, then industry, that is manufacturing, machinery, packing, all those industries are going to come. So you will have a good exposure of how this industry is progressing. Please do come. Thank you. Thank you.
Now the balls have changed. Basically before there were hardships and no opportunities. Now there are opportunities. Now hardships is in your hand. See you there. Thank you.